Hello, Swivelheads. It's Greg Allison with Swivelhead News. My friends, Ukraine is losing the war right now against Russia. It seems to be, or at least Russian forces are advancing and Ukrainian forces are retreating. And this is causing a lot of panic in Europe, and Europeans are making a lot of noises that are further upsetting Russia, as you might imagine. Principally, what's happening is a lot of NATO forces are talking about a lot of NATO countries are talking about putting troops on the ground in Ukraine. And already, apparently, French forces there. UK is talking about it. And Putin has threatened to sink Great Britain. The only way you can sink Great Britain is to use the Tsar Bomber, which is really over the top. Oh, yeah, that would sink Great Britain. It wouldn't sink it, but it would overwash it. Yeah, you can't exactly sink an island, and like some American congressman thought with the case of Guam once upon a time, thought it would capsize. So much for our Congress critters. They're not the brightest people in the world, believe it or not, even senators. But all that said, the rhetoric is going up. And furthermore, it's getting more interesting than that. I've told you guys several weeks, maybe a month or two ago, that the French were taking a little different tactic. A lot of the other European countries are putting more money into their defense, including the French. But unlike the other countries, the French are not putting more money into their conventional arms or troops, their armored vehicle carriers. In fact, they're cutting the budgets for those. No, the French are putting more money into their nuclear weapons. And furthermore, France has decided, or at least Macron has came out and talked about extended France's nuclear umbrella over Europe. Basically, France has got this big empire dream. Macaroni is kind of like a little Napoleon, I suppose. He wants France to be the dominant power in Europe. He's been, advocating, kind of pushing America. Most of us Americans would be happy to pull out and let, France and Great Britain and Germany arm wrestle over who takes the lead there. Good Lord, we put so much money into this already. Unfortunately, though, also, apparently there's some kind of offering of a 10-year continuing line of funding that the Biden administration is trying to set up toward Ukraine. And they're trying to set up a lot of things in such a way that whatever president comes in next could not really rescind some of this stuff, or at least not easily, including a lot of the things that keep the state that's so deep, if you know what I mean. Oh, my gosh. So, of course, some of the people in France are taking objection to this idea that, hey, these weapons are to defend us and not everybody else, and rightly so. So this is getting really testy over there. And furthermore, Stoltenberg, he's the civilian head of NATO, has basically said that it's a foregone conclusion. We're going to pull Ukraine into NATO. Now, I would think that, see, the thing is, every NATO country has got to agree for something like that to take place. I kind of think Oban in Hungary and maybe Erdogan with Turkey won't exactly agree with that. Maybe a few other countries won't go along with it. It's in NATO. So that it might be a kind of not happening. But Stoltenberg is really trying. All these things are really pushing Russia because one of the big reasons Russia went in there in the first place was because the concern that Ukraine was going to go NATO, and they didn't want NATO countries right up on their shore, right on their border, like Finland today. So it's getting really testy right now. The Russians are paranoid. The Russians have been invaded something like 55 times in their history, and that's one of the reasons that they've historically have pushed their borders way beyond their own territory, conquering other peoples in order to keep troops from invading them. They want to be able to seal the gap north and south of the Carpathian Mountains, which means they'd have to go through Poland and Romania and a lot of other countries to establish this level of control. And that would, of course, be overrunning a lot of NATO nations. So these things are just getting off the charts right now. As you know, the Putin has sent a lot of his nuclear missiles, tactical nukes, into Belarus. They number apparently in the dozens. And they're objecting to the idea that now Poland might get a few. At least Poland's asking for them. Of course, there was once an agreement that that NATO wouldn't put nuclear weapons into former Warsaw Pact countries that used to be in the alliance with Russia that went to NATO. so much for that. Of course, also there had been some agreement, not formal, that NATO wouldn't expand as far as it did either. So there's a lot of stuff in play here. There's a lot of security concerns, and Russia's probably more concerned about that because their population's imploding. This is probably their last best chance to make a run the way they're doing. I'm going to see who's in the chat room. Excuse me for taking so long. We're about to go in and share a bunch of articles here. I had about 3 failed starts to try to get this video going tonight. My apologies for that. If you guys keyed on some of those initial starts that didn't really happen. Oh, I see some of them already posted here. Yikes, I got to erase those after we get done. My bad for that. I was having issues with my computer here. So let's see if I hope it hasn't hit me on who's in the house tonight. We got 41 in the house. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing that link. I'll check my Green Greg site in a little bit to see who's availed themselves of that opportunity to provide super chats. So, all right, let's get into the articles. Before we go there, let's talk about Israel and Iran. Let's just have a discussion about what's going on over there, and also the Israeli and Gaza situation. So, as you all know, there were over 300 missiles and drones and such cruise missiles fired from Iran into Israel. However you want to count it, the vast majority of them were intercepted. Now, a lot of them by the United States, some by Jordan, some by Great Britain, but very, very, very few of what was fired actually got through. And the ones that did apparently didn't do a lot of damage. Now, the Iranians have got very accurate weapons. They've shown that their weapons have both the range and accuracy, pinpoint accuracy. They demonstrated that. They can put a missile at the range of anywhere in Israel on any building they want to put it on. That is, if it don't get intercepted. So they have already shown that they have quite a bit of technical expertise. And then there was this whole thing about the Israeli response. Now, Israel had talked like they wouldn't respond until after Passover, which is just ended, which makes some people wonder if they're going to make another response, but maybe not. Because it turns out the response they actually made, now that the dust is settled and we can see what really happened, it was rather interesting. What Israel did is they sent of course, the Iranians tried to dispatch it, dismiss, they just sent a few toy drones over. No, they sent them, there were some drones, but there was a missile that went in. And that missile took out the air defense system there near the nuclear research facility in Isfahan. The very thing that was supposed to stop incoming missiles from Israel was the thing that got taken out. And it wasn't intercepted. Israel sent very little stuff in that direction, and apparently it just wasn't intercepted. It just got through. So it's probably shocked the Iranians. We sent all this stuff over huge volley, and it was almost all intercepted. These guys send a pitiful little handful of stuff, and it gets through and takes out the system that the Iranians had expected to use to protect their stuff. That's a huge message. It's kind of like Israel said, Iran, we can get you. Now, of course, they don't, without American support, have the ability as of yet to refuel their fighter jets, and getting their fighter jets at that range, unless it's a one-way mission, ain't happening. And they're not going to, at this point, risk their valuable F-16s and F-35s on a one-way trip. So, and they probably might have landing rights in the Arabic countries in between. Iran's not an Arabic country, by the way. It's Islamic, but the people there are Persian, not Arabic. The Persians are Caucasian. Well, they're all Caucasian, but they're more closely related to Europeans. So these are all things to bear in mind. How this really got Iran's attention. They're not admitting it, but it might be sufficient. Israel might decide, because Israel's got their hands full with Hamas and Hezbollah. Hamas actually said they claimed, they claimed to have actually fired missiles at Israel from Lebanon, from Hezbollah territory. So that's a big change. But also, you got to remember, Rafah is where half the Palestinians are right now, which is very much under siege at the moment by Israel. Now, there's a lot of protests across the country and the world. As we know, Hamas, the event they staged in October, was really an event to try to get Israel to do that. They were basically sacrificing themselves, their own people, their own territory, their own country, because they had so much hatred toward Israel. They were willing to do that to turn the world opinion against Israel, because they thought that would be the key to finally bring Israel down. That's a pretty tough place to have that much hatred that you would almost wipe yourselves out for the chance to take down your enemy. Wow. And how could Israel possibly win when retaliation is exactly what they were expecting? It makes a tough situation there. Now, it's tough on both sides. There's a lot of innocent people on both sides that have suffered mightily over the events that are taking place. But you got to bear in mind, too, how can Israel not try to take Hamas out entirely? Because they know if they don't, Hamas is just going to do it again and again. At least that's the thinking. On the other hand, it's varied, but the latest polls I've seen indicated that something like 71% of the people in Gaza supports Hamas, even after all that. Now, maybe those polls are not valid. I don't know. There's a good question about the validity of those polls, probably, because I saw some stuff earlier that did not indicate that. It seemed to be going in the other direction. But Hamas was voted in by the Palestinians. And these so-called polls make you wonder about, what all's going down. War is an awful thing. It's horrible. Anytime any people attacks another people, it's horrible. But you've got to defend yourself. And maybe each side sees themselves as defending themselves, even if it is even if they're bringing it in on their own head. I got to be careful what words I use here. I got to pick and choose my words. So careful on this hypersensitive platform. I really can't speak my mind. So the situation is that it's ugly, and it's going to stay ugly. And it has turned a lot of the world against Israel. It's caused riots on college campuses in America. And a lot of these people that are rioting are carrying signs talking about the final solution, the same kind of signs and rhetoric that was echoed in the late 1930s and through the early 1940s in a certain European country. And some of these same people used to, a couple of years ago, were running around with banners claiming to be anti, the fascists. Yeah, they're claiming to be anti that. That's a word, that's a, yeah, that means sticks, which would be bundled together. You see the symbol, the sticks bundled together with an X on them. That's what that form of governance was named after, and it was popular in Europe in the era. I'm not going to pick my words extremely carefully here, because it triggers the things that have no rhythm that are similar name Al Gore. So I am technically not violating community standards of YouTube, but you trigger these things and they snap you. So I'm trying not to trigger the AI. All right, all that said, guys. But it's like the AI always slaps me anyway, so I don't know. So it's very difficult to report stuff on this platform, exceedingly difficult. But in any event, guys, I'm just trying to bring you guys what's happening in the world. I'm trying to do it without taking sides. But you got to wonder about some of these people. They don't even know what they're protesting sometimes. I'm going to do a video on that topic. I'm going to do a video. I may have to wind up posting it on Rumble, which is kind of almost a waste of time. I don't know. Time is killing me right now, though. I got to get out of here. I've got to move all this stuff. I got to move 32 years of accumulation. No, 33 years of accumulated things, not just living in a house for 30 years. I got a farm out here. I got a homestead. I got tons of stuff that's got to be gone in a month. I've got a lot of packing and moving to do. So I may have to disappear. I don't know, guys. I got a lot on my plate. And a lot of people don't understand what it's like. I already had a lot on my plate. And I'm trying to dispense things. I'm trying to sell some odds and ends, so I don't have time to coordinate all this stuff and then to do this too. And then people are texting me and messaging me, and they're wondering why I'm not responding. My time is intense. So let me get in here. I'm gonna share some stories with you guys. I'm gonna share some articles. I hate coming here at 2 o'clock. This is not my choice. It takes me oodles of hours to research articles and pull them up and do the stuff I do. Oodles and oodles and oodles hours. And you don't just, this stuff don't just snap into place, guys. And I have to, really wrap my noodle around the oodle to bring it to you guys. All right, so I love you guys. I'm trying to keep y'all informed, but it is not easy. Okay, so I'm just letting you guys know. So let me go in here and share some articles with you guys. The Nazis. Oh, oops, I said it. Oh, I gotta watch what I read. I'm probably get slapped hard here. I get in trouble sometimes for just reading comments because you spelled it in a way that wouldn't cause a problem. But when I read it, I said it the way you spelled it, but that sounded like something else, which would trigger those algorithms that have no rhythm. Oh my gosh, it's impossible on this platform. It's almost impossible for me. No, the other channels can talk about this ad infinitum, blah, 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 and it's fine. It's okay. I don't know why. Oh, man, earthquake or something. I don't get it. It's monetized constantly, but I don't get it. The platform just don't. I'm not their most favorite or something. I don't know. But anyway, let's go into the article. So I don't want to belabor that anymore. People gripe about that too. These people gripe about anything and everything. Maybe I should tell them to go hike, take a hike. If you're that darn sensitive about stuff, get out of here. I work too hard to put up and listen to people complaining about me complaining. All right, sorry guys. Nuclear war warning as irresponsible macaroni. Emmanuel Macaroni calls for weapons to defend Europe. I didn't make this stuff up, guys. This is exactly what I was talking about. They're talking about extending the French nuclear umbrella over Europe. And that has also got Moscow really on edge. And if that's not enough, Putin's army, like I said, they're accelerating their advance. They're trying to break through the Ukrainian defensive line. And, Russia's willing to take the losses. That's how Russia wins. Thank you, Alan Meyer. Thank you. I appreciate when somebody tells me to appreciate the time. Because I get some people just fuss at me. And that's one reason I'm being so, I guess, pointy here. You'd be surprised some of the comments I get. Anyhow. Ukraine's army chief reports tactical retreat in east as Russian forces attack the front line. So this is coming directly from Colonel General Alexander, how you say that? Sirsky, I don't know how to say that. He is saying that the Russian forces continue along the entire front line, more than 1,000 kilometers, 620 miles of pitched battles raging west of Avdiivka. So he went on to say, you can quote a government official. That's not something that's subject to copyright. The most difficult situation is in Pokrovsky, how do you say that? God, that's not a skis. Yeah, these places. Directions where fierce battles continue. The enemy has engaged up to 4 brigades in these directions. It's trying to develop an offensive west of Avdiivka and Mariinka, whatever that is, making its way to Pokrovsk and Kurskov. I can't pronounce when you put K's and H's together. It's not on my tongue. If I hear it, I can say it. But I don't listen to videos, so I very seldom. So I don't get all the pronunciations. I don't watch TV, so I miss the pronunciations on these words. I read them. I read articles. That's how I get research my news. In part, when I do research, I get stuff also from some of my contacts. But when I got to go find it, but that I can't show you on the internet when my contacts tell me. So when I bring articles up, that's what I got. Okay, so if I can't pronounce it, pardon me. I'm a Southern boy. I'm just some poor dumb worm farmer. What can I say? Some poor dumb rocket scientist. But that don't mean I'm a linguistic expert in the Slavic languages. No, I'm not. I've been to Russia, and when I was there, I was starting to get the hang of it. But that was back in 2010, March of 2010. Best trips I ever took overseas. Was the best trip I ever took overseas. Anyway, Ukraine Army commander says situation is worsened as the Russian offensive can just another way of saying the same thing. But this is a different, yeah, just a different take on the same story, guys. So, and if you think, they're blaming it on, the United States are blaming on our Congress for dragging their feet and not supporting aid to Ukraine. That's what they're blaming on. But guess what? The first Ukrainian-born congressperson in the United States voted against sending aid to Ukraine. Imagine that. The first Ukrainian-born congresswoman in the United States Congress voted against sending aid to Ukraine. Victoria Spratz is her name. She's a Republican congresswoman from Indiana. She didn't support it. Imagine that. So everybody wanted to just say, it's the Republicans dragging, blah, blah. There's more to it than that, guys. There's a lot more to it. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine that. Okay. So if she don't support it, then, why, she's an American now. She's a member of Congress. She is representing an American view. We're deep in debt. And, like I've said, after the Ukrainians allegedly broke through the Russian front lines last year with their spring offensive, which occurred in the autumn, and failed to do an end runaround, that's when I said it's over. How are they going to win when they can't even make an end runaround and take advantage of the fact they broke through the front lines? I just don't see how they got any hope left. Anyway, to me, that was kind of like the Russian Waterloo, the Ukrainian Waterloo. Of course, they weren't totally defeated yet, and they're still not. Or maybe like their Gettysburg would be a better analogy to me. I know people argue against me until the cows come home. Well, I just got to tell you, it does not bode well for their future. However you want to check on here. Thunder outside. Yeah, it's thunder outside. Here it is. Russia threatens to sink Britain if they send NATO troops to Ukraine. NATO, so not just British troops, it's NATO troops. Wow. So if any NATO troops goes to, Ukrainian troops are not Ukrainian. French troops are apparently already there in so-called advisor roles or whatever, or handling low-level tech jobs or something. So this is getting really close. Again, the only way, what they're talking about when they talk about stuff like that, they're talking about using a Tsar bomb. A Tsar bomb could kick up a tsunami, a radioactive tsunami that would do Great Britain in if that were to take place. Let's hope they never set off one of those Poseidon torpedoes with a Tsar bomb on it, or any nuclear warhead from a torpedo. Let's hope and pray that don't happen. But guys, we're poking the bear. We really are. And we're poking them more and more and more. Now, of course, the bear is advancing in Ukraine. That's true. But they're just trying to take Donetsk. Of course, they would take probably Kyiv if they get a chance to conclude the war, and maybe eastern Ukraine. I say right now, like what I've been saying for the last months, something that we discussed with David Pine on here like 2 years ago. Really and truly, Ukraine ought to sue for peace. Right now, they need to negotiate either a ceasefire at a minimum or a peace treaty. That is my take on it. It's time to stop the carnage on both sides. Yeah, Jerry Gamble don't watch TV. Well, yeah, there's just no time for TV, and this TV is so slanted. You really can't get any non-biased view. It's all slanted. Anyway, here they're talking about that decade-long funding that the U.S. is trying to set up for this U.S.-Ukrainian security agreement. And what did Elon say? He said, this is insane. Forever war. Yeah, we don't need that. Stop the carnage, for Pete's sake. Yows. Okay, now talking about carnage, this article is claiming that the AI is going to make it easier for bad actors to what? Conceptualize and conduct chemical, biological, and radiological, or even nuclear attacks. Apparently, this is according to the Department of Homeland Security. AI. So, you know, I warned you guys about the works of Sir Martin Rees and how he talked about fear of bioera and bioterror and beyond. I come to the realization over 25 years ago, maybe 20, getting close to 30 years ago, when we were building rockets in garages, like in 97, we hit the edge of space from an activity conducted by some individuals working out of a couple
professions.
Whoa.
It's a tough situation.
I hate stuff when they start making sound. Hate it when they start got to play sounds. Fox is the worst, I guess. I almost never wrote ABC News. So I guess they do it too. Guys, I'm gonna have to do a video on that great filter. You know, we look up in the skies and we don't see any sign of any civilization up there. Given the age of the universe, the number of planets we're finding, that's rather mind-boggling. Maybe no technical civilization has made it past where we're at today, and maybe we're hurtling in the same direction if we don't find a way to stop the nonsense, stop the carnage. We can't survive in a world full of hatred. We just won't make it. If you look at the final hour, he was talking about the next century. We don't have a century. We got 10 years at most, maybe not that long. I'm going to have to start really harping on that. We've got to find ways to de-escalate. Our leaders are not helping us. We got the wrong leaders worldwide in all the nations, apparently. So maybe the people of the world can come to the realization of that and stop supporting the people that want to pitch us all against each other. Scary situation we're in today. We must learn a way to de-escalate where we're at today. That's the real answer. How we get there, that's the tough question. That's the real tough one, especially with everything going on. But anyway, so guys, NATO floats Ukraine membership as Stoltenberg meets with Zelensky. Like I said, Stoltenberg is trying to pull Ukraine into NATO. He wants to do it sooner rather than later, even maybe during the midst of the war with Russia. Would that automatically put us into Article 5, putting NATO directly against Russia? That's insanity. This whole talk is crazy talk. I'm not seeing any updates in my chat. Okay, now some people are chatting. Okay. So, I don't know, guys, what y'all think. So, I'll come back to the chat room and get to the main news here, guys. For the guys that watch in the morning, I'll try to get through the news before I delve into the chat room, as I usually do. They will have to talk about your off-grid power. Russian rebels vow to burn Putin in flames of revolution. As you know, there's that Freedom of Russia Legion. There's, you know, about 3 groups now that are apparently Russian, although they got a lot of American assets, been mobilized and using Ukraine as their base to strike into Russia. They claim they're going to go all the way to Moscow. So far, they're nowhere close to being able to do that. The only way they could do that is if there was a mass turn of hearts and opinions in Russia against Putin. Right now, Putin still seems to be pretty popular. The economy in Russia is actually growing, but he is sending a lot of the young Russians through the meat grinder, although he's mainly and largely dependent on soldiers from other outlying republics in the Russian system. So the Russians proper aren't seeing as much of the carnage maybe with their people as some of the outlying areas. But then again, some of those outlying areas are getting a little restless. So, if Russia has the determination to stick with it, just as a war of attrition, over time they'll win. But something like this could challenge. I mean, you can't discount this. Given the way Prigozhin drove the Wagner Group to the threshold of Moscow and stopped, of course, stopping cost him dearly, cost him his existence, probably. But it's not a foregone conclusion. It was succeeded anyway. So I'm not, I'm not in here trying to take sides. I'm just laying out the dimensions of the conflict going on. There's nothing pretty about any of these conflicts, guys. Like I said, we need to find a way to just de-escalate. That's the real net. Putin ain't in Moscow, almost zero chance. Probably not. And I'd also suggest, and I'm going to do a special. I did finally see the movie Civil War. I've actually watched it twice. My opinion of it didn't change from the first to the second viewing. I still have the same. The first viewing told me everything I really needed to know. You will not get an ending like that in reality. I will make a special video on that. But as a disclaimer, if you haven't seen the movie yet, you might want to wait till you watch my my review of it. And then I will do another follow-up video just talking about Civil War in general, probably where we're at, because I think in a sense we're already there. Hey, Jesse from Arizona, good to see you. I think we're already there, really and truly. And a lot of people just don't recognize it for what it is. Like, I think we're already in World War III. I think we're really already in a type of civil war. I will explain that later, not in the course of this video, and I will cover my review of the movie before I put that out. So it can be kind of a launching point, just kind of a logical sequence, A, B, C, in that order. All right, guys. I think the prospects of these groups is probably very, 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 very remote, but it's not impossible. Not impossible. Things can change in a war on a dime. So people that are going to come on here and tell you they got the answers, they know what's going to happen, they know how it's going to end, they know what the next step is, they're blowing it. They're just blowing smoke. I don't even want to listen to people that talk like that. They're so certain. They got all these certitudes. They got all the answers. Well, usually they got no answers and they're dead wrong. So, I don't even want to listen to people that come in like that, because they're full of themselves. All right, guys. We'll change the topic from war for just a minute, and then we'll go back. We'll talk about the Mideast. But just to kind of give us a little relief, because war is a tough topic. Also, I will do a little promotion here. Let's see. Food inflation. Why economists believe food costs will only keep going up. Well, there's a lot of drivers that's driving the food cost up, include corporate takeover of farms, foreign takeover of the corporations and the farms, energy supplies going up, all the chemicals going up, the fertilizers getting more rare, spare parts, supply chain issues. It goes on and on and on. And I've talked about all these topics ad nauseum on here for a long time. Now, people have always come in, Greg, nothing you predict ever comes true. Well, I've never predicted anything on my channel, except that the price of food was going up. That's really the only prediction I made. And I have said, if we don't do something about it, we're going to lose our power grid. Mother Nature will take it out eventually if we don't do something to harden it. But that was a conditional prediction, because the condition was if we don't harden the power grid. It wasn't an absolute prediction. I'm not a guy who makes absolute predictions, because that's nonsense in general. So there's some things that are just, the writing's in the wall. You can't ignore it. Food prices are going up. I have said this for some time, and they did go up. I didn't lie. That prediction came true. I very seldom make predictions. That is the prediction I made, that food prices are going up. And what they're talking about here now is rising. Oh, they got crazy stuff. They're talking about food prices going up between 0.9 and 3.2% annually each year through 2035. We're talking about 11 years of food inflation. Now, they're blaming this on these global warming. Of course, that's what most articles are going to blame. If you stump your toe, they'll blame it on global warming. I advocate global warming, WRMING. But that's a whole different story. But there's other drivers, and I've talked about these other drivers ad nauseum for what's driving food cost up, and I don't see any relief in that category right now. So I don't necessarily agree with their root causes. If those root causes were to be true, yeah, they would cause that. But there are plenty of things that are driving the cost of it. Hey, Steffers J, good to see you in the house. It's late for some of you people. I know that. Thank you all for being here, Space Girl. All right, guys. So let's. Well, what do you do about food prices going up? Canadian preppers basically want to become a farmer. What does he tell us? All preppers started as micro preppers, but eventually all the true preppers become farmers. Well, that's how I started my channel. I was already there. I had a homestead here. Guys, that's why you need to go to get your seeds. Get them now while you can, before you can't order anything off the internet. If the grid goes down or we got all kind of hacking, do it now while you can get it, and buy extra, because you need to be able to replant if something goes bad with the crops, like hailstorms, as we've been seeing all through the Midwest. I'm hearing thunder outside right now because those storms are here, but they're not as intense here as they were in Oklahoma and Nebraska and Texas and Missouri. Fortunately, they've died down a little bit for me right now, and they are coming in late. But guys, this is a good time to come in and get your seed. If you've not got seed already, I recommend you check out and see if there's something here that you like. See if there's something makes sense to you to get. True Leaf Market and Eden Brothers, they both carry heirloom seeds, and the seeds here are non-GMO, especially here. True Market's had non-GMO seeds since 1974, and that's nice. So let's talk about the Mideast. So Israel took out one of the key operatives of the Revolutionary Guard Corps. So they targeted one of the key generals there. Let's see, what was his name here? Mohammed Reza Zahid. Oh, we've talked about him. Let's see if we can see a picture of this guy. They got him in an airstrike in Syria. They keep hitting some of the key people from the Israeli, from the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, and that just further incenses, of course, Iran. So that conflict between Iran and Israel is not over, but given the response of Israel toward Iran, it makes you wonder how Iran will respond next. Of course, Iran, oh yeah, I didn't open this article. I got another article I saw a while back saying that the Iranians, I meant to pull that up. I'd have to go back deeper back in time to find it now. The Iranians are now claiming that they could actually produce a bomb to test within less than a day. Does that mean they already have it? I suggest they probably did already have it, or they probably wouldn't have launched the attack they did launch. So anyway, of course, this is talking about Israel bombing Rafah, as Hezbollah's been hitting them and back and forth. Hamas missiles. Again, Hamas fired a salvo into northern Israel from Lebanon. Now, this is the Hezbollah territory, not typically Hamas territory. So maybe if they go into Rafah and take out all the Hamas people in Rafah, maybe some of them got away into Lebanon. So maybe they won't get them all. So this goal of taking out all of the members of Hamas might be unachievable. I don't know, guys. This is very ugly over there, very ugly. Victor Davis Hanson, Iran's muscle flexing turns into the country's nightmare. Again, what we're talking about here is what I've been telling you guys about how Iran made such a major volley strike into Israel, and it was all blunted practically, except for just a very handful that got through. And then Israel did a little bitty tiny attack onto Iran, and it got through and hit their main defense battery for the nuclear research facility in Isfahan. Wow. So in response, Iran is apparently, according to the Hill, figured it's much easier and safer to attack our forces abroad than Israeli. I don't know, because we don't seem to do much in hitting back. All right, this article from the Washington Examiner kind of goes along with the article I was posted on Green Greg's a couple of days ago. I mentioned this. I mentioned how congressmen were bringing this out. Yeah, this research, this is not something being made up. It's documented. The congressman have pointed it out. At least $1 million in taxpayers' fund. Makes you really think. You know, maybe does this not suggest that maybe our government's just a little too big? If we can afford to be doing junk like this, nobody should be doing gain of function research. It should be eliminated worldwide. Nobody should be doing it. And then yet, even after everything that happened in 2019, late 2019, 2020, this goes on. It's nuts. Anyway. So, and this was talking about China here, how they're expanding their influence. Guys, China is making inroads into countries in South America, Central America. They got some inroads even with Mexico and what is it, Barbados, I believe. Yeah, they are making inroads into the Virgin Islands. It's not Virgin Islands, into the Caribbean Islands. Pardon me, guys, it is late. So it is getting really testy for us. Now, this guy's article, for some reason, I can usually read South China Morning Post. For some reason, this article is wanting me to subscribe, so it's not showing me everything this time around. But this is, even these guys, South China Morning Post, is bashing on the Canadians for being so, I'll say it backwards, ECWO. EKOW, flip that around like no, ECWO. That's a new word for us on this channel. ECWO. Yeah, he says that they've gone from being ludicrous to dangerous. What do y'all think? We've talked about that at some length too, and a lot of you guys are up there in the land of Castro Trudeau. So what do y'all think? I know, well, I'm not clicking over to the next link. I seem to be having some issues here. Whoop, there it is. All right, what do y'all think about this? They're talking about making the entire fleet of trucks electric, but they're also talking about making them driverless, having nobody in the big rigs barreling down the highways. How's that make y'all feel? Well, they don't have to take rest breaks. I mean, it'll take them longer to charge up, but they don't have to take rest breaks. But how would you feel with a fleet of driverless trucks on the road? Interesting, right? Of course, you know, they could be hacked. Remember the movie Leave the World Behind, where the Teslas were hacked and all went crashing into each other? Was that prophetic? What happens if it's big rigs? Something to ponder. Does that leave you a warm, fuzzy feeling inside, or does that make you feel just a little bit queasy? The idea that these things could be on the road and nobody in it. If nothing else, if you had at least had somebody sitting over here in a co-pilot seat with a stop button, that might be a good thing. If he had a hard cutoff switch. Jeez Louise, I don't know. He'd probably be asleep if the robot's driving. Anyway, guys, I wouldn't be if I'm sitting in a rig and a robot's driving. I don't think I'd be sleeping well, but some people would. So this article came out 3 days ago now, and it said the 145th earthquake of the month strikes New Jersey. Strong aftershocks rattle hundreds. That's been a couple days ago. So that's over one a day. What's the count now? How many earthquakes have they had in New Jersey in the month of April? Well, guys, that is all, and they're all concentrated in this one tiny little spot. Usually, if you're on a fault line, it kind of skips around a little bit. Why so many right there? What is happening in New Jersey? New Days, are you in the house? She spent some time in New Jersey. She had a vision, a dream of a volcano coming up before this article broke out. She's been telling me about this for a few months. So you got to wonder what's cooking under New Jersey. Is it just some rock sliding underground? Is it a fault line? It's got a pinch point right here, or is it something else? Jesse says, great. AZ already has driverless semis with test area, already have a couple catch fire. Wow. Well, we know those lithium-ion batteries, when they catch fire, you can't pour water on them. It just makes them worse. California's rocking. I don't doubt that, true weather. Well, let's look at earthquakes. Look at this big one down here. 5.1 in Corzo, Mexico. That's a pretty good earthquake. Of course, our friends in Puerto Rico are dancing hard over here. This looks like Dominican Republic right here, this latest one. Yep, 4.0 in Dominican Republic, but we got some of these like they're over in the Virgin Islands, maybe. Let's look at that. Yep, Charlotte in the U.S., Charlotte, Emily, how do you pronounce that? In the U.S. Virgin Islands. I've been to the Virgin Islands. I've been both British. Hey, we got a super chat finally. Thank you, Rodney. Salute to you, Rodney. The Australian Army already have some driverless army trucks. Wow. Well, you know, they just did a test with a dogfight between, I think it was the F-35 and a robot AI flown F-16. They're not telling us how that dogfight went. Who did the F-16 win? I don't know. They're not telling us for some. New Jersey had a tsunami one a couple of days ago. Yeah, I was hearing that. Of course, that's onshore. So why would you get, you know, for a tsunami warning, you'd have to have something going on offshore. So maybe we're just getting part of the picture. Now, for some reason, this is not showing those. Let's see, sort. No, sort that way. Lottie, I forget where the 25 earthquakes. Yeah, I'll go to it later. Let's look around the world here and see what else. Oh, we got a big. Oh, look over here around Indonesia, Philippines. This side of the Ring of Fire is really rocking. We got one right here in the Tonga area. Tonga, 5.1. This guy's 5.2 in Vanuatu. However you pronounce it. Philippines is rocking hard right here. 4.9. We still got Taiwan aftershocks up here in Hualien City, where the big one occurred. Northern, that's probably some islands that Russia's taken from Japan, I think. Yep. Kurilsky, Russia. Yep. That's some of the islands that Russia took from Japan. Of course, Hawaii is always having earthquakes and the volcanoes there. New Zealand's quiet. Australia's quiet. Got earthquake in the Mediterranean down here, south of Crete, Greece. Okay, 4.1. Romania, 4.2. Mid-Atlantic Ridge looks kind of quiet at the moment. Nothing big in Iceland at the moment. But Jellystone National Park is rocking. Well, close to there. Clifton, Idaho. Of course, this Juan de Fuca plate, where it's intersecting the San Andreas, that little point right there is really a hyperactive point. Those two, where these plates, there's three plates that meet here: the Pacific plate, the Juan de Fuca, and the North American plate. And the North American plate is sliding up. The Pacific plate is sliding under. A lot of tension there. This one's off Brandon, Oregon. Alaska. Well, there's one offshore. Some of these don't cause a tsunami. 3.2. Two of them up here. Looks like Dog Mine, Alaska. We saw Dog Mine, Alaska back a few days ago. It's got two right there. There's 2.5. There's another circle. I wonder if I can click the outer circle without zooming in. Yeah, I missed it. Sometimes you got to zoom in and get the resolution. Quebec, 2.5. This is close to Anchorage, Chickaloon, Alaska, 2.9. Denali Park, 2.8. Wow. Here in the peninsula leading out to the Aleutian Islands, 2.6. Kamchatka Peninsula's got one offshore there, 4.7. That's big peninsula right here. I remember when KAL 007 airline got taken out by the Russians. It had an American congressman on board, no less than the president of the John Birch Society. Y'all remember that back in the 80s? Yeah, Russia took out one of our passenger jets. It went off course, apparently, went over Kamchatka, and they took it down. That was a scary moment. Very scary. Let's see here. All right, there it is. Yeah, I'm not well. Mess with that anymore right now. There is talk about concerns for an X flare. Where from the Sunspot 3564. That thing has grown. It's gotten huge. These sunspots right here apparently have now a configuration, alpha, beta, magnetic positive, north-south kind of situation that could put out an X-class flare. X-class flare. It's still close enough in our direction. It could greatly affect us here. But fortunately, it's heading around to the other side of the sun. Let's hope it holds off before it fires off. That's something to keep an eye on. X-class flares are the most powerful. The X-class is a wide spectrum in and of itself. The lower X-class flares shouldn't cause problems. The upper X-class flares could be like the Carrington event. All right, I was talking about moon dogs and sun dogs recently. Here's the sun. There's clouds. This is an effect due to the ice crystals in the upper atmosphere being lit up. That's known as a sun dog. When you sit around the moon, it's called a moon dog. Yeah, Queensland there, Rodney. All right. So, kind of concerning. Well, those are good predictors of weather, actually. I use the moon dogs to predict rain. I'll tell you more about that later. It's like we had an asteroid pass between the Earth and the moon on the 26th. It's about almost twice as far out as the geosynchronous satellites. But we don't, there's not that many asteroids. This list is not as long as it usually is. And as usual, we don't know anything coming that close in the near future. We tend to discover these kind of after the fact. You can always tell that's discovered this year, HL, so that's getting to be big numbers already. So that's a recently discovered asteroid. Probably saw it after it whizzed by. All righty, folks, that one was 22 meters. You really start worrying when like 30 meters, like this guy here, but it's going to miss us by almost 2 times the lunar distance, 1.8. So not a problem with that asteroid. All right, folks. Weather, we'll just take a quick glance at it. We got snow out west and got some rain in the area here. I'm hearing it right now. And so we're going to stop the share. I'm going to look at you guys' chats. So the official news section of this Nuke War News episode is through. We're going to chat here amongst ourselves a little bit. I'm going to see what you guys are having to say. And I might come back and do some weather if it's not too late. Do need to get some shut eye. I didn't sleep last night. Somebody woke me up early this morning. So, all right, I went to bed late and got up early. Even for me, I got to get very little sleep. All righty, let's see what folks are saying. Oh yeah, let me check the link Michelle was sharing. See if anybody has availed themselves to use the website to send me a super chat. I'll give them credit before they get out of here, because it's already getting late, and I'll check it again, hopefully, before I'm done tonight. Ding, 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 ding. So we'll see. I like to give credit where credit's due. Dum, 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 dum. Flash, Gordon. All right. It's going. You ever take your finger to a dog's nose and do this and watch them go? I used to love doing it when I was a kid. Come on. Whoop. Let's do a chat thing in front of me. All righty, Michelle Young, $10 super chat. Salute, Michelle. Thank you for sharing the link, and thank you for the super chat, Michelle. Appreciate it very much. All righty. See how things look. Ooh, I need to plug my computer in here. We're losing power on the computer. I'm having to share power supplies between my computer and my phone tonight because the power supply I was turning my phone off of it went for the fritz. All righty, let's go through here. Nanny Anderson, yeah, we watched. We were on Discord watching Civil War together. She was on it last night. We watched it again tonight. So join our Discord channel. You might see something interesting over there, folks. Jerry, what does GMTU stand for? Good morning to you. All right, Chewy, Colorado Jan, Steffords, HM. Hi to you. We got no super chat. Well, let me see. My scroller is messing up. Rodney Middleton, once again. Are you saying I woke you up? No, it wasn't you. Are you saying I woke you up asking on Facebook if you were going live? No. Somebody was banging on my door. Just right after I went to bed. So happens. Yeah, I actually turn I keep notifications on my phone turned off. The ringer is usually turned off. If I don't respond to you, that's why. Because if I didn't turn them off, my phone would sound like a machine gun. It goes because I get so many notifications. And some people get a little wondering, like, why did you respond? I can't. It's like drinking from Niagara Falls. I mean, really, I have had notifications turn on and just handing my phone. Somebody need to just like drop it. Well, what's this? So what happens? You know, guys, lots of people contacting me. Like I said, I get people send me over 40 hours worth of videos to watch every day. You know what? I don't even watch videos that much unless I'm eating. Right today, I'm fasting. So, anyway, Rodney, thank you for the super chat once again. That is super. Appreciate it. No, you didn't wake me up. All right, let's go back up and see what folks are saying here. Trying to get through the chat here. All right, Francesca. Alan Meyer Jensen. Alan Meyer Jensen, you are from overseas. I think. Are you not? I think you're not in Norway. You're somewhere else. If I remember. You can tell me in a little bit. Mike Coban, the EU just voted last week to send back. Yeah, I mentioned that in my video a couple of videos back that they're actually Poland threatened to send. Apparently, they're going to Ukrainians that took exile in Poland. Now, guys, here in the United States, we let anybody and everybody in, just throw the gate wide open. Go look at what Pakistan's doing. Pakistan is sending Afghans who came there hunting asylum back to Afghanistan. Now, those individuals are going to be persecuted in Afghanistan because the Taliban are not going to like them. Their chances of pushing daisies is very high. And the same going for Ukrainians who left Ukraine because they didn't want to go into the conflict for Zelensky. Apparently going to get forced back over there, and guess where they're going? When you hate to know that you're destined to be cannon fodder just because of the way you're born. Yeah. You know, again, we should stop the carnage. Just negotiate a ceasefire. Or even a peace treaty would be better, but even just a ceasefire would be progress. You know, we've had a ceasefire for decades between North and South Korea, although that may be on the verge of erupting, it looks like. All right, Jason, that's what Russia said, and no one believes them. Yeah, that's it. They've cried wolf a lot. The problem is they are the bear, and they probably do have a real red line, and we just don't know where it is. Well, definitely, if the regime thinks its existence is threatened, that's likely a red line. Now, the Kremlin has a website where they explicitly state what the criteria are for them to use nuclear weapons. We went to that back many months ago. I think before I even went out to Arizona. So it was probably almost a year ago, probably last June, July. I went through that. We looked at it together. Several of those items have actually been crossed. Like attacks on their strategic nuclear forces, command and control. But that was from Ukraine, mostly. So I don't know. I'm trying not to take. Hey, Karen, how you doing? Another informative video. Well, thank you, Karen. I'm glad you find it informative. I try to be informative. I'm trying not to take sides. I'm really on the side of people. I'm on the side of peace if we can get there. The alternative is horrendous. Thank you for sharing my links, Michelle. I guess New Days didn't make it. She must have fallen asleep. She said she'd stay awake till I came in here, but she must be asleep. Oh, all right, Jason. Talking about one of those Soros-backed organizations. I don't even. Gotta be careful. I think I actually mentioned and called them out by name earlier. Gotta be careful with that. All good as long as you don't violate God's rules, you'll be fine. Well, that's true in terms of existence, but I could be knocked off the platform. So, hey, we got a super chat, $6. Let me go down to who is helping us out tonight. Robert Hodges, $6 for a quarter tank of gas. Well, salute you, Robert Hodges. Thank you very much. My van takes a lot more than that. Now, the car that would be a quarter tank. Hey, every nickel counts. Thank you, Robert Hodges. Salute to you. Appreciate it. So, yeah, Wendy over Harnett Farms, man, she was out dodging tornadoes in her vehicle. That has got to be frightening. Somebody gave her shelter for a bit. She happened upon a family, I guess, heading to the shelter. So I'm glad you're okay, Wendy. I was worried about all our friends who are subscribers in Oklahoma. I don't know of any of them that took a direct hit, but I did hear a lot of people had their buildings messed up, a lot of buildings. We do know a lot of people were hit hard, and quite a few lost their lives over there during these storms. Did that little video about copy and paste help Arnold. Article in Prepper magazine about our farm. Oh, that's great. And the heat dome last year. All right, Wendy, you made it in the magazine. Well, my picture on the cover of the Rolling Stones, by coppers from Mama Stones. All the Muppets protest. Yes, I did see. All the Muppets. Right, and Putin won the election. Yeah. Jason, I don't know, man. Well, in part, he eliminates all his competitors. And if you're a competitor to Putin, you get free flying lessons. If you're not in a place where there's a high window, you might get some polonium or something else. Putin's not a nice man. A lot of people think he is a lot of my subscribers think he's a great guy. I think he's a nice guy. I don't think I tell you guys, none of these world leaders are nice. You got to be like a sociopath at a minimum to get to that level. And if you're over on an authoritarian system, you're probably, and especially if you're taking other people out, that goes into the category of psycho. But then again, I would say we got plenty of that over here too. What I tell you guys, all governments are evil. That's my supposition. Rick Thompson, yes. I signed a contract over the weekend to sell my house, and the guy called me today confirming his receipt of it. And I'm supposed to meet with him Wednesday. So we're going to talk about, what it's going to take for me to get out of here and when the closing day to be, those kind of things. So I got to get out of here. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say it. I know. I got to be careful reading chat. I get in so much trouble reading chat. Oh, they're blocking the doors now. Well, I hear they're at risk of getting expelled permanently. Colombia, the ones protesting in Colombia. There's something to notice. How come all their tents are the exact same color, the exact same model? Oh, it's just a grassroots thing, right? That's what they tell you. That's what he told us 2 years ago. Oh, it's just grassroots. My Facebook page has friends. A lot of people that were friends are people I knew from the space community. A lot of them are people I knew from work, school. A lot of people I knew from the organic gardening community because I was promoting my worm farm and stuff like that. Quite a few of them are really liberal. They are equa, very equa. I can't word flip it like Nug, right? Equa, very, very equa. And they argue with a lot of stuff I post. I mean, they don't stop. They just go on and on and on and on. It's like, oh, well, I tell you guys, I often tell you guys, you need to put on your rose-colored glasses and reach out to the other side. Of course, sometimes I kind of jab them a little bit with some of my posts, and it really sets them off. It's kind of like kicking a hornet's nest. I know some of the posts I put up there is just going to kick the hornet's nest, but sometimes you got to put on the rose-colored glasses. Try to see things the way they see them, just to be able to communicate with them. Of course, when you kick the hornet's nest, you're not really communicating, but not with them necessarily. But there are some people that are kind of trying to figure out where they want to go with these things, and so that might be of help to them. I'll sit down and talk with any of them. Conversation is what we need in this world. We got to break up all the hatred. And a lot of them make bad suppositions. I've had some of these guys, they should know better, accuse me of things. They ought to know better than, you're racist, you're this, you're that. It's like, excuse me? You don't know me. You really don't know me. Or start accusing my family of stuff. It's like, really? One guy actually put, well, the Allisons went and took land from the Indians. No, they did not. Absolutely did not. The Allison family went and bought at market value, maybe above market value at the time, property from the Cherokee Indians. They were the first white family in Northwest Georgia in the area they went into, the very first ones, and they lived among the Indians peacefully. They were part of the community, the Indian community, practically part of the Indian nation. And they intermingled. They were like hand in glove. They all got along just fine because they didn't go in and take it. They went and bought from them. These guys offered to sell. These guys bought it. That's how my family wound up in this region of the country on the Allison side. It was like, you don't know what you're talking about, buddy. You got no clue. So, you get people, they make all these suppositions because they hear all this stuff on media. Media says, well, they're this, they're that, they're this, they're that, they're this, they're that, and putting all kind of labels on people. No. It's like, you don't accuse me of being a racist. I'm a married black woman. An immigrant. Oh, yeah, they don't accuse me of being anti-immigration, too. I'm not anti-immigration. I'm anti not vetting who's coming in this country. It needs to be a legal process. If the legal process don't allow enough people in to harvest the fruits and vegetables, then you need to open the valve a little bit, These things ought to be appropriate. But we don't need just anything and everything crossing our border like members of MS-13, the people that have been turned loose in the prisons in Venezuela, the fentanyl. I mean, what's happening from fentanyl is horrific. There's no other way to describe it. We've lost more, we're losing more people in a year to fentanyl than we over twice as many as were lost in the entire Vietnam War last couple of years. It's crazy. And some people think, well, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. I don't get that. So anyway, just cause for not letting sleeper cell members, potential sleeper cell members, criminals, people that were on the T watch list in this country, then you are anti-immigrant and racist. Give me a break. Give me a break. Give me a break. No. Oh my gosh. They'd like to throw these labels out. They want to accuse people of stuff. Yeah, you're this, you're that, you're the other, blah, 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 blah. Why? Because they've been drinking from the Kool-Aid of certain news sources and are just gobbling it up. Oh, well. And then they want to accuse other people of that. Well, our media has divided, the social media has divided the population a lot. That's true. But still, I believe in freedom. That's my bottom line. What the heck is wrong with that? I believe in freedom. I talk about it all the time. Started a Freedom Restoration Foundation. Go to that organization and take the .gro, flip that around, and there you are. Wow, country updates and more. It's not easy to get all these articles together and share with our audience facts. I just wish some bigger channels would help share out smaller channels videos as well, but most don't. And it said, you got a channel there, Wild Country? I'm gonna click on your name and see if you got a channel. Let's see how to get that. Sometimes we'll go to channel. I'm gonna explore and see if you got a channel over there. Wild Country updates and more. Got 821 subscribers. Well, you're on your way there. 279 videos. All right, guys, go check it out. He's got a channel. Sure enough, Wild Country updates and more. Check it out, folks. I don't mind giving a shout out. Apparently, Michelle knows it. She gave me a big heart. Ace Lee, thanks you. How you doing, Ace? Ace is the place. Royal Girl. Alpha Omega Survival. Arnold said Ace is the place. Just saying where you said that. Hey, Arnold. Is Ukraine trying to reduce its population? I think them and Russia both. They both have, both countries are in free fall population-wise. They already were losing population. And to be in such a horrific war, it's horrible. It's horrible. The carnage is hitting both sides too hard. It needs to stop. It just needs to stop. They're putting the whole world at risk. The whole world's at risk in nuclear war. The Europeans are scared. The Russians are scared. And, the Ukrainians are scared with us because they're having stuff falling all around them. It needs to stop. It's nonsense. David Potter, I don't have TV anymore. Well, good for you. I don't have a working TV. Aliens want to be the gray man. They don't want to be seen. Larry, I think some people say they're already gray. Grays, right? The grays are the ultimate gray man. Well, yeah, that's the best way to be, when you can just like pop in and out. You're here and then poof, you're gone. Yeah, somebody aims a nug at you. You go, okay, poof, I'm over in another dimension. Hey, that's the ultimate. That's the ultimate bug out. Hit that little button and off you go into a total different dimension. I didn't catch me one of them UFOs. I'm gonna lasso one. I'm gonna fly it. I already figured out how to do that. I did a video on Galactic Graphs talking about how to capture a UFO. Did it with Rex. It's one of about probably the second or third video I posted, but way back in time on Galactic Graphs channel. I talked about how to stop the grays and how to grab their UFOs. Battery about to die. I want to make sure my battery here ain't about to die. Okay, I'm good at the moment. Jesse, how are you, buddy? Dalton Schmidt, the world's not stable and it's getting worse daily. That's the problem. That's why I'm bringing you guys this stuff. I mean, thanks for sharing the Goldbacks link there, Michelle. Yeah, you would. There's plenty of articles claiming the price of gold is about to go up again. Our financial advisor, but I was expecting some time back it was going to go up, and it did. Not enough fertilizer in DC to cover the Midwest. Oh, there's enough fertilizer in DC to cover the Midwest. Yeah, but it's probably contaminated when you consider who they are. Halo Space Girl, good to see you. Oh, one of the in Civil War movie. I did notice one thing in the stadium. There was one word written on the somebody had graffiti painted one word on the walls of the stadium. Halo. Hey, it's there. It's in the movie. Halo. It's all Bible prophecy. All right. Does look like biblical times, no doubt about that. 4 years ago, we paid $50 for the same thing. Now $300. Only include 1 pound of hamburger. Oh. Prices are going insane. Food prices, guys. I've been warning you about that a long time ago. Hailstorms love solar panels. Don't you know it? Solar panels and greenhouses. Solar panels and the whole time I had my greenhouse, every time it come a thunderstorm, I was fretting over the prospects for hail. And now I'm about to go off grid and put up solar panels. So I don't think you get the kind of storms in Arizona you get around here, though. I mean, I've been in a heck of a thunderstorm. I got caught out in a tractor in a major thunderstorm, lightning going all around me in Arizona on my property. That was more. I put that thing in high gear and I got the heck out of where I was at, got it in my vehicle. And then nearly got stuck trying to get my vehicle out. Man, it came a gully washer. It can rain there, even in the desert. That was in September, I believe, early September. We're going to get rid of the red cow soon. We haven't even, and we don't even get steaks out of the deal. I no kidding. Should at least get a steak, right? Well, I hear that thunder. Yeah, I'm glad it's not like it was in the Midwest. I wouldn't be on here doing a video. I'd be ducking and covering. Probably getting in my van and bugging out. Might do a video for my van if I was, but I did that last time. How you doing, Larry? Timeline changed. Well, you know what, Jesse? The prophecy said that a certain individual would change times. Did it not? That was in the prophecy that a certain individual to come would change times. What did that mean? Some people think that was just reassigning the day of the Sabbath, and that was already done and already been covered. But I do believe we're in a multiverse, and I believe there's multiple timelines. Now, they may all be in one stream, all heading basically the same general direction. Let's hope it's not for a waterfall or a big sinkhole. I've seen there's a waterfall on the edge of Brindley Mountain. I've seen it. It goes over the mountain and goes right down into a cave. That water beat the ground so hard it drilled out a cave, and it comes up further out as a spring. It goes down underground, comes back up as a spring. Moonlight and Roses. Oh, that's a nice name. I like that. Right. Angelique Costa. Driverless cars already failed in Arizona and caused many crashes in Vegas. No thanks. Yeah, cars are scary enough, right? Maximum overdrive. Colorado Jan. It was, but FA, she decided to take it too. Yeah. electric car, no battery. All right, Alan, Meyer, Jensen. Let's see. Have poop for brains. Yeah, I think it was too much of that. California's rocking, says Chew Weather. Musk was tunneling there. Is that what's causing all the earthquakes there, Larry? All right, Sasquatch Moon. Speaking about volcanoes, bigger up. Where at? Tight-lipped on that dogfight. They are. They really are. That indicates something. Maybe AI won. You know, and I think was it not a F-35 against the F-16? F-35 is supposed to be the superior platform. Did an AI F-16 outperform a pilot in F-35? Oh, they got close to each other in their simulated dogfight. Thank you, Colorado Jam, for sharing that link. Appreciate that. Good day. That's a good title. Good day. Southwest. Can't play when the power's off. Oh. Well, I know when you're off grid, you got to really monitor that power. You overdraw that battery, poof, it goes down. Been there. First couple weeks I was in Arizona, I stayed with some friends that were off grid solar, and really had to watch that power, especially the sun didn't shine the day before. Nanner Blender, hey, good day. Crania. There's a lot of questions about that Malaysian airline. You see the stuff Rex Bear on Leak Project and Diamond on Oppenheimer Ranch project was posting. They had a guest speaker on who showed some video that's just boggles the mind. Really strange stuff. About the one that went down over in the area of Indonesia, just off the Indian Ocean. Cuban Nurse Prepper, how you doing? When I go to work late, make up for it early. Yeah, leaving early. Okay, there you go. Stray Kitten says, oh, well, a lot of good channels think those shields work. I know what Greg says about the shields. Besides, I don't have to worry about it because I'm too poor to worry. Yeah, I did a whole video on it, whole long video. I even went to the Spexley site and the test data that they posted and compared them. I'm an engineer, electrical engineer. I know specs. There's some issues there. Let's just put it that way. There's definitely some issues there. Big issues. They got some big misses. So they make big claims. This will protect all devices in your house. Only if your house is in a waveguide box surrounded by a shield on top of that, a Faraday cage, and if the point of entries are regulated as high to the level on that spec, and they don't even test fully to that level. So how can they make that kind of claim? How can they make that kind of claim? Just from the very spec they cite. Went there, I showed it, I showed their test data. We scrolled all the way through their test data, looked at the spec. You tell me. I used their own data from their own website. Oh, wait a minute, they didn't post a spec. They referenced it, they didn't post it. They got a link. When you click the link, when you click on the spec, it takes you to their test data, not to the spec. Denmark. Yes, sir. I knew it was one of the Nordic nations, but I knew it wasn't Norway. Denmark. I don't know how many occurred on the day of the solar eclipse. Holy chatbot, virtual AI priest, Father Justin, who believes he's real and can absolve your sins, faces backlash over bizarre answers. What? We got an AI priest that believes he's real. Can absolve your sins? Oh, me. Yeah, it looks a little strange to me. That sounds kind of fishy. But they've got AI writing sermons in some churches, and people go and they listen to an AI sermon. Oh, ugh, I don't know, guys. Use a computer algorithm to take you to the greater creator. How about just praying? Antonio Castellano, if I said that close to right, first support our own people before helping others. There you go. 2, step we all should do is be very selective with whom and what we choose to support. Money talks and there's power in numbers. Amen to all that. I'm visiting EU soon. Not sure how risky due to Ukraine war. Well, I would kind of keep my distance from Ukraine and if possible, the adjacent countries around it, at the very least. And maybe you don't want to spend a lot of time over there. How long do you plan to be there, Karen? Greg stops the surge in 500 trillionths of a second. Yeah, right. And I show you how big the ground can. Oh, it shuts everything to the ground. They don't tell you about current division. I'm not going to talk about current division. No. And they don't tell you that you need to put some ferret beads in the system. They don't tell you all that. And even all that may not be enough, but still. They used to say it was good. You can take 44 EMPs. I haven't seen that claim in the latest stuff over there. It's like, okay, well, after the first, what are you going to do? How are you going to sue them if it fails? Now, I did have one of my subs tell me they took a lightning strike, had one of those in place. Things didn't fare so well, according to that sub. Missing Norway, yeah. Where's he at, Arnold? I don't know. Missing New Days, too. Earthquakes and New Days from interdimensional demons unleashed by CERN. Yeah, right. I don't think so. I'm so sorry to hear it's so bad. Robert says the fit issue is so bad on a desk is over 10 inches tall. A family member is dating a Fed. What? Told there is no problem. It's crazy, going to get worse. No problem. Told there is no problem. Wow. You gave a super chat that I missed. I saw 2. Oh, there it is. Please send me a coffee. Thank you, Rodney. Thank you very much. Yeah, call me out if I miss it. Sometimes scrolling around, I can miss stuff. Because I don't have I got my screen lowered where I can see the bottom of it. That means I don't see the little bubble at the top. Yeah. Let me scroll it down. Well, it's not showing. Why's that? Usually I get a bubble at the top of the screen. It's not showing. That's odd. Maybe I'll have to make that X. Oh, it killed the chat. Let me go back in the chat. I just killed my whole chat room. Trying to see why I wasn't seeing the bubble. So later to you again, Rodney. And with that, I'm going to take a swig of coffee out of my Snoopy cup. When he says chill out, some of y'all need to take that advice to heart more, right? Hey, New Days is in the house. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. Orwell, 2084. digital priest to forgive virtual sins for real currency. Virtual sins. So virtual sin's not a real sin, it's a simulated sin. Lordy, lordy. Where are we going, guys? Where are we going in our society? Thank you. You know, what did Jesus say about matters of the heart? Sometimes it's what's in your mind, what's in your heart can be a sin, saith the Lord. A virtual sin would be like something that's not really a sin. It's just a virtual sin. It's not a real sin because it's not real. Your thoughts are real. They may be within you, but they're real. Virtual reality is a sin. Lord, may not be to the same level, but you tell me. What do you think? You know, it could be. Again, what's in your mind? What's in your heart? You know, you can pray without saying a word. Just you can meditate without saying a word. You can reach out to the greater creator because he can hear what you're thinking. They say Satan can't do that. Isn't that interesting? Maybe it's the reptilians Alex Jones talked about. Uh-oh. Or I'll say Jason. Brian Gunnarsson has been tracking the subsurface heat indicators for 2 years. And an earthquake was due. Yeah. New days. New Jersey had 145 earthquakes in a month, all in one little tiny area. What's cooking? I mentioned you. I said you had a dream of a volcano going off. What do you think, New Days? What's cooking? Sin starts in the mind. Everything starts in the mind, pretty much. All right, folks, it is 3:42. We're getting up on 4 o'clock. Should we do a quick spin around the world with weather, or should we call it a night? What do y'all think? I'll do a quick spin around. It's late. Not as late as we're on some nights, but I didn't sleep last night. Let's see. We can do a quick one. All right, I'm not seeing any responses here. Giant bunker, underground city. Not for us, though. Yeah, who's got their ticket to the doomsday bunker? Not me. Shit, I got logged out. I'm aggravating. Ooh. Looks like we got some more super chats. I'm going to log back in via my site here. Hang on, guys. Ding, 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 ding. Do, 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 do. Log me out. That's the right password. Yes, sir. Wow. Okay, we got wow. 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 My breath is taken. Michelle gave a $10 super chat. Marcia gave a $20 super chat. And Kim Possible, who's been hiding in the room, Kim Possible gave a $50 super chat. Salute, Kim Possible. Wow. Awesome. I'm glad I come back in and checked it. Wow. All right. Love you guys. Showing the love, and I love you back. Wow. Awesome. Backstory. So that is thrilling tonight. So awesome, guys. Appreciate that. Really do. Really appreciate it. All right, folks. So we'll do a quick spin through the weather here. Yeah. It's been an awesome night. Awesome night. All right, guys, let's go. We'll do a quick screen share. We'll go to the weather. We're almost done. New days. New days. Tell us, what was your volcano dream? All these earthquakes in New Jersey got me wondering. New Jersey. All right, we got storms in my neighborhood. Let me bring it up to date here. Let me hit the refresh button. Thank you for sharing that, Michelle. People are paying attention to you, Michelle. They're using the link you're posting. They done me really good tonight. Appreciate it. All right. We'll go. Yeah, I've been hearing lots of thunder outside. I think it's past pipe. It's already passed mostly because it's calmed down. I can navigate this site faster than the Wonder Map site, and Chewy's trying to get me to use a different site. I'm located right about, I'm probably even within that gray line. I'm close to the state line. I'm only 8 miles south of the state line here, guys. Yeah, most of it's passed. I still hear some racket up in the clouds. Alex Young on Rumble, Brian Gunness on YouTube. Yeah, Brian's on YouTube. So, and Colorado Jan mails me super chats in the mail. Slate to Colorado Jan. She's always very supportive. All right, guys, 62 in Hunts Patch, 64 in Birmingham. There's Colonel Cole calls it Bullet Helm. He sends me a lot of links. If I talked about the stuff he was showing, YouTube would kick me off the channel. Stuff going on in our schools. Sad stuff. It's all true, but all right, new days. You're just a couple of degrees above freezing up there. Wow, 34. Yeah, 34. Sometimes we get folks in Ontario. Barrie. I've been up to Barrie, just north of Toronto. I've been up there. 50 degrees in Barrie. Toronto, 46. Buffalo, 50. Buffalo. Rochester, 48. I think my bus come from Rochester. This is Rochester on the side of my bus. All righty, guys. Michigan in the 50s. Ohio, 61, 62. It's as warm there as it is here. This little front might change that. We got some storms up in northern Kentucky. Just north of Lexington, if you're in that area. Bowling Green looks like it just passed through you. All right. I grew up in this area right here, so these storms are about to cross. They're probably right coming up right on Brindley Mountain, about to cross Sand Mountain and head into Gadsden tonight. Chilly tonight. All right. Chilly today, hot tamale. That's your Mexican weather forecast. Mobile, 68. No, Montgomery is 66. Dothan, 66. My worms originally came out of Slocum, next to Dothan. That's where I got my worms from initially. That's how I got my start. All right, Planet Houston, 64. Dallas, 64. Oh, let's check out our friends in Tulsa, 61. Oklahoma, 64. So, Wendy, I guess you're in the 60s. Michelle, Fayetteville's 57. Joplin's 57. You're in between these. I guess you're probably close to 57 there. New Mexico, Santa Fe, 48. Alamogordo. It's got Space Museum, 61. I need to call them next day or two about getting this rocket in my backyard. They've been wanting it for a long time, the DCX rocket. Might just let them have it now. I do something. Did you see the cities in the dream? Oh, I saw complete devastation in New Jersey shoreline, tsunamis, an earthquake. Continental shelf gives way, and I saw mud volcano coming up out of the onion field in South Jersey. Wow, that may be where the earthquakes are at. A mud volcano, South Jersey. That's scary. Lost wages is 64 and lost angels is 55. San Fran is 52. This thing's not updating very fast. Winnemucca, Winnemucca, Nevada. Say that. Probably butchering the name. That's a funny name. Winnemucca, 37. A lot cooler than lost wages. Provo, 41. Ogden, 35. I've stayed in Ogden many a nights. Show Low, 46. Holbrook, 52. All right, Jesse. Jesse, I had a buddy sent me some pictures of some snow in y'all's area a couple of mornings ago. Yeah, just not far from you. All right, West Bokostan. Looks like you got some rain on the coast there, Chewy. Snow a little inland. 40s out here, 30s and 20s. Baker Creek. Enterprise, 19. Well, that's pretty chilly. 19 degrees on the last day of April. Seattle, 43. Alberta. Calgary, what's Calgary? It's got snow, 34. Say it ain't snow. You got snow up there, not far from you, Arnold. It's like heavy snow and some rain up here. Smoky Lake. High Prairie, 34. Grand Prairie, 28. All right. McKenzie, British Columbia, 30. Fort St. John, 32. Ware, 28. Yukon Territory. I drove through the Yukon Territory. Mayo. Slap the mater on the sandwich and off we go. I'm gonna stuff a mater sandwich in my face. We're gonna hop on a dog sled and have a race. Mayo. I don't think they eat mater sandwiches in Mayo. Yukon Territory. I can't help myself. Wasilla, 39. Anchorage, 37. Seward, 34. Kenai, 37. Homer, 39. Valdez is freezing at 32. Cordova, 34. Ely, 34. Delta Junction, what's your compunction? 35. Fairbanks, 35. Reby, 32. Galena, Sled, 32. Galena, Alaska. Oh, let's go up to Dead Horse. Got some snow in the Brooks Range, it looks like. Yeah, I need to scroll out. Here we are. Dead Horse is 7 degrees. Now that's chilly. We got 5 degrees over here in Nusquat. I don't know if that's how you say it. 5 degrees. So we got a place in Alaska that's just 5 degrees. Wainwright's 14. Ray, did you know they saw the flash in Los Angeles when they did? Oh, really? When they tested in Nevada, they could see the flash in Los Angeles. Wow. Then it left the atmosphere way up. Well, that's, those things are hotter than the sun. Dawn is 25. All right, there is Big Diomede and Little Diomede. Russia to my left, America to the right, right there. That's the closest point between Russia and the United States is right here. Are we going to see anything in Siberia colder than 5 degrees? What do y'all think? Hey, John Taylor, how you doing? No apologies necessary. You're here. Thank you for joining. You can catch the news portion on the rewind. We're just going through weather now. We're almost done for the night, the morning, whatever it is. Y'all, I was trying to scroll distance, not go in. Trying to scroll out, so if I see any super cold temperatures without looking everywhere in Siberia. Siberia is so big. All right, come on, catch up. Give me some temps. I'm trying to understand the vision. After we talked about it, Greg, I looked at the violence erupting in New York like a volcano for figurative description. Yeah, a lot of times these dreams are figurative. That's what we were talking about. No, I scrolled out too much. Stuck it forever to update. Definitely snowing pretty good in some places there in Siberia. The taiga tundra. We had somebody with a title taiga tundra in the chat room the other night, which I thought was interesting because the taiga is what you got in Siberia. Taiga forest tundra. All right, this thing's not updating fast. She's hanging up. Yeah. Why is it hanging up so much? I'm not totally pegged out on CPU's been alternately pegging out. Oh, I see 20s, 30s here, 20s, 30s, nothing crazy there. Could Alaska be colder than Siberia right now? Parts of it. Well, we got 8 degrees up there. 7 right there. Okay, that's just about a tie for. We got a 7 degree. All right, let's go down under and see what the spell is we're under. Zoom out a little bit. Then we'll go to Europe. John Taylor, when are you going back to Arizona? Well, I need to start hauling loads out there just as quick as I can. I got to get a cargo load. I got to put some kind of barrier in my bus so that if I slam on my brakes, that stuff's not going to knock me in the head and throw me through the windshield with my bus, because I'm using my bus as a U-Haul. I make a few trips in it. So I look at all these storms off the coast of China, all the way around, just like following the border of China. That's interesting. What's the temperature in WWIII? Let's say 80 degrees. I'm going to guess 80 degrees in WWIII. Oops, I hit the wrong button. I'm still trying to figure out how to drive this thing. They moved all the buttons around on me. And as long as you click the zoom button, it don't do it right off. It's got a delay. Temperature in WWIII don't vary a whole lot. It's up right in here. Not caught up. It's not giving us a reading yet. There it is. It's coming up. WWIII. Am I pronouncing that close to being right, Rodney? 82. Off 2 degrees. Shame on me. Townsville, 77. Bundaberg. That's a fun. Bundaberg. I used to know a guy named Funderburg. I wonder if Funderburg was from Bundaberg. 71. Brisbane, 66. Alice Springs, a cool 70. Not so bad out in the deserts and here in Australia. 80 degrees up there. That's kind of warm. Canberra, 53. Melbourne, 55. Well, you guys are heading into the late part of autumn down there. Hobart's 50. What else we got from Australia? Whatever happened to our good friend Scooby Snacks? We haven't seen him on the house in a long time. Dundee 50, Christchurch 55, Walton 57, New Plymouth 55, Auckland 55. All right, let's go up to Europe. Yeah, I got to get out of this place. I hope I got 30 days. That's my understanding, but it really wasn't spelled out in the contract. That's what I talked to the guy about earlier. I hope he don't push me harder than that. If he does, I'm going to have but going to be interesting. I got a lot of junk to pack up here. London 59. Hull 57. What's this? Swansea? How that's pronounced? Wales? I don't speak Welsh. I don't even speak English, I don't think. I heard another thunder bumper outside. Let's see what Birmingham, England is at. I think Birmingham, Alabama was about 65, if I remember right. Birmingham, England. Come on. 53. It's colder in England than it is here. London's 59. All right. Let's check Denmark. We got Denmark in the house. Now, I don't know how to pronounce these. ESBJ. That's Esk. Oh, shoot. How would you say that? Esk. Yeah, I can't even say it. I'd have to hear it. 53 degrees there, whatever it is. 52 up here, 53 over there. Yeah. Stockholm's 57. Copenhagen 53. Oslo, Norway is 52. Where's Norway at tonight? Yeah, Denmark in the house. Where's Norway? This might. Congratulations, getting a deal in your house. It's not as much as I wanted. It won't get me out of debt, but it gets me most of the way there. Most of the way. I could have held out, but it's cost me too much money every month of being here. I need to get going. All right. Lyon, France, 59. Paris, 57 in Paris. I've landed in Paris, but I don't consider it as at the airport, Charles de Gaulle Airport. That don't mean, just because you land in the airport, that don't mean you're in the country, does it? I don't know if that counts or not. But I've been in Charles de Gaulle on one occasion. Orleans is 55. Berlin 70, Warsaw 70. That's warm over there. Amazing the difference between England and Warsaw. Kyiv is 64. Moscow 68. It's warmer than Moscow and is right here. Wow. Imagine that, folks. Moscow. Must be why that must be why Biden don't like Russia, because their capital city's got a cow in it. Is that why they don't like cows? They don't like no cows. Is that what Biden got against Russia? Capital city's got a cow in it. Well, that storm there offshore. Quite a squall line right in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Will not want to be in a ship on that. Hell, that's pretty intense too. I've been in a ship on hit by a squall line down here. It was in Mr. Offshore. Oh, there's people praying for folks. What we say, we pray for Greg, brother, to get deal done. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Alan Meyer Jensen, I had a dream like Sopranos, 3 o'clock last night, but Butler rushed to Gremlin 3 at night emergency meeting. Cannot figure it out. So you dreamed about Putin, huh? Guys, we're some strange times. Things could go south in a flash. You're ever going to have a live chat? Wait, are you ever going to have a live chat or call it a show? We're doing a live chat right now, John. What do you mean? Are you ever going to have a live chat or call it or call-in show? Oh. I got to see how to set. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I thought about it. I got to figure out how to set it up. New Days and I were starting to explore that once. I started to explore it once before. I got to figure out how to manage that. Probably not till I really get set up stable in Arizona. Once I get power, get my Starlink going, and set up another studio in my house. I got to get the house finished where I can just set things up in a stable fashion. Then I might do it. Because right now I got to concentrate on packing all this up. All this has got to go poof and zoom. I love cows seared. Hey, any Allen Outfitters. All right, guys. Well, let's pray for some of you guys. Anybody got a prayer request? I say we pray for my friend Dennis. He's recovering from a stroke. His wife told me he's 95% covered. That's good news. I need to pray for Cha-Cha. You know, she lost her home in a fire back a while back. I don't see her in here tonight. Pray for New Days because she's got to go to surgery again, guys. Definitely pray for New Days. Who else? Somebody. We'll pray for Granny in Atlanta. No matter how bad off she was, never really asked for prayers for herself. She always asked us to pray for granddaughter Kaylee. She's having a lot of health issues, so we can do that. Bless her heart. We miss Granny Atlanta. She'd always be here every time she could. They say new status Arnold Schwarzenegger launched a Prius with his car. Oh, Lord. Did he hit a Prius? Thank you, Jason, for asking for thumbs up. Still got 97 in the room, 95 in the room. We've been here almost 2 hours. Let's pray for world peace. Let's pray that in spite of our leaders trying to lead us down the path of fire, that somehow saner minds prevail. Pray for me. I got to go to eye. Oh, yeah. John Taylor's got some eye issues, guys. Serious eye issues. Let's pray for John Taylor. Good point. All right. Let's do that real quick. Let's have a prayer session. And anybody else to pray for, add them in. Pray for world peace. Pray for all the people that got hit by the tornadoes. Pray for the people in the war zones. There's still a lot of innocent people and children in those areas. All right. Let's do a prayer session right now. We'll just pray according to your own beliefs. Amen. Impossible. I'm at work and not supposed to have my phone on. Oh. Well, Sleep, thank you for all your wonderful support, Kim Possible. Oh, yeah. Let me go back and double check my PayPal again. And it's logging me out again. All righty. Well, we've had some good super chats tonight, guys. I really appreciate all you. John Taylor, pray for Greg and safe travels. Thank you. I got a lot of back and forth the country to go. Hope I don't have a major breakdown again. That's horrible. Anyway, I hope I can get all my stuff back and forth. A lot of moving to do, a lot of setting up to do. And let's hope that WWIII don't break you out, well, the hot part of it while I'm in transit. Hope it don't at all. All right, we've been on for 2 hours now. World peace. Oh yeah, I remember Randy Blob, we bought a bunch of him. You know, he was given prospects that he wasn't going to make it. We've been praying for him for a while, and he's recovered. Let's hope that he stays recovered. Yeah, the doctors gave him grim prospects. And guess what? Power of prayer, guys. I believe in it. So that's why we pray for family. Can't do anything else for each other. At least we can pray for each other. I think that matters. So let me stop the share. Why am I talking here? Still on weather, and we're not even talking weather. Sorry about that, guys. I should have stopped the share earlier. Guys, we are in a world's insane. Too much evil in the world, too much hatred. Hatred begets evil begets hatred, hatred begets evil. It's a vicious cycle. We need to find ways to pull out of it. Sorry, guys, I'm not a big prayer person, hopeful person. Well, you know, not everybody has to pray. I usually say that if you don't believe in prayer, a moment of silence is golden. So, anyway, I know we got people from a lot of different wide spectrum of beliefs, and I'm not trying to push any belief here. I just happen to believe in the power of prayer. Power of prayer. I think we have about 3 years before it gets really hot here. Well, let's hope we get a little time to get our preps in order, folks. But you don't need to be wasting time. The world's crazy. The world is just off the charts. And we got crazy people running the world, all over the world, crazy people. It's pretty sad when you think about it. So, Honey Island Outfitters. That's a very interesting name. You got a channel, Honey Island? Honey Island Outfitters. I'm going to go to see what your channel activity. Go to channel. There it is. Ding, 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 ding. Got a video called Test. Okay. Test. That's cool. All right, folks. Cuban nurse prep Greg. I've seen lots of medication shortage. Yeah, I've been hearing about that. Well, world super crazy. Yes, sir. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. Yeah, you know, Steve Popper on the Popper Report, he's been talking about the medication shortages for quite a while. He's a good guy. Last video I saw from him, he was actually at the Grand Canyon. He was in Arizona. I said, yep. Why couldn't I be in Arizona and he's in Arizona? I love to tag up with him person. I've interviewed him here on this channel, and he said he's willing to come back on. Good man. He's a good man. So, never developed a channel. I see that, Honey Island. That's all right. Not everybody's got their channel. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate your support. Yep, he shows the situation. So It goes a lot into the shortages in the grocery stores, supply chain. He's an economist, well, an accountant by trade. Rephrase, he's an accountant by trade. There's something on my arm I haven't noticed. There's an odd rash. Where'd that come from? I have to go look at it with a magnifying glass here in a little bit. All righty, folks. Listen, I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you all for supporting me. We're going to go now. We've been on here 2 hours. It's 4 a.m., 4:15. Got people from all over the world amongst us. Glad to see that. Good man, yes, I see him too. Yep. So, thank you, super chatters. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Just remember, as light dispels dark, love dispels hate, go out and shine your love light in the world. Let's make a difference. Let's try to break the cycle of hatred, folks. We can start it right with ourselves and reach out to other people. Do something kind to somebody who wouldn't suspect it. T-bone steaks, $95. What? Jeez. Oh my gosh. I used to eat a lot of beef. I can't do it anymore. Just can't do it. Anyway, thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank y'all for being here. And with that,